Hello, everyone. My name is Holly, and I will be the English trainer for this hour. We will be talking about moments in history, maybe defining moments in all of our countries that maybe basically shaped who the country or what the country is. So, hello, Max. Welcome back. Or maybe you stayed for the other class. So, hello, Max. Can you hear me? All right. So, while he's getting his microphone ready, Um, I will tell you a little bit about what we will be doing today in class. We will be going over moments in history, and so let me show you uh, the topic. We will first start out with different things that shaped the America and British history, and then we will do some collocations, and then we will do a quick reading on different people, and we'll look at the language and practice that, and then we'll talk about your memories. And then after that we will do a discussion, and it should be a very interesting topic if people remember moments in history from their own country, and also moments in history from the world. So anyway, as we wait for Max to come and for other people to show up to class.
I'm
Hello,
back.
you're
Hello
here.
again.
Hello.
Sorry
Yeah,
for that.
no
The class
worries.
was started and I had to go.
Oh
Sorry.
yeah, I understand. Nature calls sometimes. So, yeah, we have if more people have signed up for the class, we'll see if they actually come. So, um, so anyway, did you go to the other class during between my class and this one, or did you take a break?
I take a break and a bit work.
Did a bit of work. Okay, excellent, excellent. So remind me again how old your kids are.
uh, the daughter is younger.
Uh-huh.
She is 1 year and a half.
Oh, a year and a half. Okay.
Yeah, and the son is
And how old is he?
more house is more is much older. I
He's much
mean,
older. Okay.
he's 7 years old.
Okay. So you had about 5, 6 years between kids.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
a bit.
Perfect. Perfect. So is he learning to read now and things like that?
Uh, the son is so lazy. No, yeah, I try to sometimes to push on him, but press on him, but
Uh-huh. Yeah. Well, some people just aren't ready to learn to read until later. My sister and I did not learn until we were 7 years old, and we both have two master's degrees now, and we were very well educated. So, but we were in second grade when we finally learned to read. So,
uh,
yeah.
it's
Uh,
a interesting thing. He learned more easy way to communicate this computer. He used Google voice search. Google,
huh?
okay. I want to watch character of something like that. I don't
Mm.
know.
It's funny what the little kids can do with the computers. It's like, how do you know this? So, does your daughter
I don't know.
also?
Hold on, sorry, I have
Uh-huh.
to
Okay, so,
step away
okay, no
for
worries.
5 minutes. Okay.
Okay, okay. So, anyway, I'll just go ahead and set up the class. So today's class we are going to go over moments in history, and so far we have one person who's come and he's had to step away, so we're just kind of waiting for him and for other people to show up. So that's what the silence is all about. So if you come to this class, think about where were you when certain things in history happened. So.
And again, I'm back. Sorry.
And you're back. Okay. You said about 5 minutes. I wonder where everybody else is. We had the same class yesterday. We had 9 people in the class. So, but anyway.
I don't know where's.
Yeah. So we have several people that have signed up for the class, but sometimes life gets in the way, you know. Either.
I booked. I booked this class before 5 minutes. Until
5 minutes ago.
Until 5 minutes. Yeah, some kind of that.
Yeah. So it looks like we've had.
I've never booked class like
early
before one day. Yeah, I'm not sure. It would be not. I will have opportunity to enjoy class or not, and I don't do that.
Yeah, some people do. I've got some people that book early. So Cornell, welcome.
Welcome. Hi, Holly. Sorry for my being late. I don't
no
like
worries.
Lating.
No worries. We have several people that either are late or I'm thinking they booked last night and then they slept in. So.
Yeah. I had to organize something prior to lesson, and I am being late. Sorry.
Yeah, no worries, not a problem. This is going to be a very interesting lesson, I think, because it's talking about, like, we're going to talk about where we were during certain times in history, and so forth. But I feel like the things that are on here are very American or British centric, and I wish there would be things like when the Berlin Wall went down, or different things like that. So because there's a lot of different world events that have happened through through our lifetimes even. So but anyway, and how are you, Callum? Not Callum, Cornell.
Yeah, sorry.
I called you the wrong name. I was calling you Callum. I said, and how are you?
I'm fine. Thank you. And you?
Pretty good. And how's your baby?
He's still sleeping.
He is.
Yeah, I'm a bit surprised because he always wake up earlier than today.
Yeah.
I don't know what it happened, but we are waiting for waking up of my baby. Yeah, and I was muted because I'm looking for a video about President Kennedy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was very interesting, and it was shocked.
Okay. All right. Hi, Akaken. How are you today?
Yes, I'm fine. How are you?
Very good. Very good. It's nice to see you here.
Good to see you.
So we're just kind of barely getting started. Everybody kind of came in a little bit later than normal, which is totally fine. So so you're not really all that late, but all right. So what we're going to do is today we're going to talk about moments in history, and that should be I think it should be it'll be actually quite fun as we think about where we were during certain times in our lifetime, or if we weren't even born. We can even say I wasn't born yet. So all right. So let's look at these. We have the first moon landing. Max, what year was the first moon landing? 65, 69, 71, or 75?
I'm not sure. I think
What-
it was 1971.
Okay, that's your guess. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put everybody's initial here, and then when we do, then we will check the answers and see. So hello, Araceli, how are you?
Hello, I'm fine.
And is life back to normal now?
Yes, more or
Yeah.
less.
Are you back to work, or is that Monday?
No. I went back to work yesterday.
Yesterday.
It was a normal day.
Okay, excellent. All right, Cornell, when do you think the first moon landing was?
Uh,
And
I think
don't check Google.
uh, yeah, third one in my opinion. Yeah.
You think
Yeah, I
1971?
agree
Okay.
with that.
Okay. And Araceli, what's your opinion? When was the first moon landing?
I don't know, 1969?
Okay, so that's your guess is 1969. Okay, and I know this one because I was born 10 days afterwards. So, Akakin, what's your guess?
1971.
1971. That's your guess as well. Okay.
Not 69. Yeah, probably. I changed my
Okay,
mind.
you're changing it to 1969. Okay. All right. And I always say that I was born during two very important events. I was born between the moon landing and Woodstock, if anybody remembers what Woodstock is. And that was in 1969, actually. So, okay, the assassination of President Kennedy. Akaken, when do you think that was?
1961.
1961. Okay, and Araceli, what is your guess?
1961 maybe.
Okay, also, okay, and Carnell, what is your guess?
The second one.
1963.
Yeah.
Okay, and Max, what is your guess?
I don't know.
Any
Would
guess?
it
Just
be
say a date.
okay? Would it be 1961?
Okay, you think 1961 as well. Okay, and I don't actually recall. I knew this one because it was near my birthday. Were any of you guys alive during that time?
No, but I changed my mind again. 1963. Yeah, because I remember the clear evidence after that.
Okay,
So
so you say 1963?
3, yeah.
Yeah. And I'm going based on my family's lives, and my parents were married in 1961, and I think my brother was alive when he was born in 1962, so I'm thinking it's 1963. It's right before the Beatles came to the U.S.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's what we need to check that one. I think let me look at the answers. But how about the collapse of the New York World Trade Center? What year was that, Max?
It's named com bubble. .com bubble. Not,
Oh, the collapse of
I'm
the
right.
New York World Trade Center? No, that's a different one.
Not different.
Yeah, this one was when the planes went into the World Trade Center in New York City.
I don't know.
Okay.
2000.
2000. Okay, and Cornell, what would you say it was?
Third one.
Okay, 2001, and
Yeah,
Araceli?
it is sure.
Yeah. Araceli, what would you say? What date would you say it was?
It was 2002. I remember this moment perfectly. I was at work and I know where it was. I was walking and I think it was
But I'm not sure,
2002.
but you don't have the year right, but that's okay.
Okay.
Ake-kin, do you know the right year?
Yeah, maybe 2001 or 2002. I clearly remember the day, but I forgot the year.
You remember what you were doing? It was September 11. It was actually
Yeah.
September 11, 2001. So
Mhm.
sorry, Araceli. Sorry, Max. So, okay, the release of the first Star Wars movie. Does anybody remember that? When that was? Okay, do you know when that would be?
Probably 1981. I don't know.
1981? Okay. And Araceli, what's your guess?
1977.
1977? Okay. And Cornell, what is your guess?
1977.
1977? Okay.
Yeah.
I was alive during this thing, but I wasn't allowed to watch these kind of movies, so I never paid attention. Max, what year do you think it was?
1980.
1980. A complete guess, right? Okay. I need to check the answers on that one
Yes.
because I actually do not know. So, let me see if they gave me the answers. 1963 is this one, and 2001, and then 1977. So Cornell and Araceli, did you go to that showing? Is that why you got the date right?
No, but I was, well, I was just 4, but I
Oh.
was a big fan because my dad went to that show and liked it a lot. So I remember when I was little, the other movies of Star Wars, and I was like 7,
Uh-huh.
10, and I know the dates because I know I was too young
Uh-huh.
to
Okay.
see this one.
See the first one, yeah, okay. And I didn't know the dates because my mom wouldn't let us watch these. Now, though, she has changed her tune, changed her mind, and she's watching them with my sister's kids. So she's learning all about. I still haven't watched. I've never watched a Star Wars. I don't understand it, so totally the Star Trek. But okay, did you watch it at 1977? Is that why you got it right, or how did you know?
I remember I went to the theater, but how can I say in English? At that time, the cheap, relatively cheap theater available, and but the film there is not a kind of latest film. So not right after, but somewhat after the Star Wars was released,
Mm-hmm.
and I watched it in the theater in a reasonable price.
Okay. Okay, so you did actually get to see it at that time.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay, now the next one, The Death of Diana, Princess of Wales. Max, when do you think that was?
I was alive.
You were alive during this one. Yay!
I don't know. I think it was 1996.
1996 is your guess, okay? And
Yeah.
Cornell, what is your guess?
It's a very good question. I should know, but yeah, third one.
The third one, okay.
Yeah.
All right. And Araceli, do you remember which year that was?
Yes, I remember. I got this associated with something in my life. I think this time I will not be
Get it
wrong.
right.
1997.
Yes. And Ake-ken,
1990. 1977. Okay, I'm not sure.
Okay, so we'll put you in 1997 just because you got the same initials as Artheli. It's actually 1997. I was thinking it was 96 when I first saw it, and then I thought, no, it would have been a year later. So, because I remember what I was doing at the time. So, yeah. So, were you guys alive during all of this? So, of course, that shows our ages. But, Cornell, you were alive during them all?
When?
All of these moments in history? Were you alive during all of these?
No, I was born in 1978.
Oh, okay, so you were not alive. Okay. Araceli, were you alive during all of these?
Not during the first two ones.
Okay.
So
Yeah. Okay,
I
so
was born in the early 70s. So
yeah, you were born after me, so because I was 8 years old in 1977. So okay, Ken, how about you? Were you alive during all of these?
I don't say my age.
Oh, you won't say your age.
But what I was searching for at the second round theater.
Second run theater.
Yeah,
Yeah, you did
where?
it right.
Oh, really? Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you did say it right. Yeah, so you won't admit whether you remember the Kennedy assassination or not. So, okay, yeah, I was actually born right after this one, so that's how old I am. So, so I was not alive for the first two either. The last three I was. And Max, which one you lived through? You were alive through the World Trade Center and Diana, Princess of Wales?
Yeah, I'm 1985 was born.
Okay, yeah, totally fine. So, but there's been some other great events that have happened during all of our lifetimes. Should we make a list? What are some other things that have happened that have been wonderful moments in history? During the 70s, 80s, 90s, and 2000s. Anybody remember anything?
There was there is a 70-year-old anniversary of Normandy landing this year.
Okay. So basically Normandy landing. Of course, that wasn't even during our any of our lifetimes, but we do have the 70th anniversary. Okay.
Yeah, I am following the similar anniversary because I like Second World War.
You like the okay. All right, and Araceli, can you think of something that has happened?
For example, my mother was born just after the Second World War when the bomb on Hiroshima and Nagasaki was released.
Oh, wow.
So that's no, yes, it was like I remember the dates because she says it was 4 or something like that.
Yeah.
It was 1945.
Uh-huh.
So yes, she was born in 1941, and she remembers that she was a little girl in that moment.
During that time, yeah. Yeah. And okay, can you remember some moments in history?
The moment 1969 Woodstock.
Yeah, Woodstock. That's what I always say. I was born between the moon landing and Woodstock, and I don't know which one was better. So.
But I realized that after I grew up, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. So how great Woodstock is and everything, or was.
Yeah.
I think some people would say it wasn't all that great, but. And I'm thinking that the Berlin Wall going down. And when was that? In 1989? Does anybody remember?
Probably sometime in late 1980s.
Yeah,
Yeah, it happened very
88 or
quickly.
89.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, and Max, can you think of something?
I don't know. Nothing comes to mind.
Nothing comes to mind?
I
Okay.
think, yeah, I was young.
Mhm. Yeah, but you've lived a little. There's things that have happened in
I
the
didn't
90s.
care about it. I think.
Oh.
I don't know.
You weren't paying attention. That
Yeah,
happens.
but today I pay attention more than
Uh,
5
yeah,
years ago, I think.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think at
It's
least
more interesting
uh-huh.
to
Yeah.
see how
Yeah.
to learn something from
Mhm.
world history, what happened in the world. I don't know.
In the States, we say that every generation had one moment in history that defined their generation. And for example, in the 60s, it was the moon landing. Well, no, not the moon landing. It was the assassination of President Kennedy. In the 80s, it was actually the Challenger explosion. I don't know if any of you guys remember that. You guys remember that at all? That was in 1986.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I was shocked.
Yeah, I was devastated. Totally.
Yeah, I was watching TV and I thought, oh, launching succeeded, but I exploded, and so I realized, wow,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. The first teacher in space, and so,
yeah,
and
and the first Japanese astronauts to the space too.
was that the first Japanese astronaut in space as well?
Yeah, Japanese American astronaut was killed that accident.
In that one as well?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, Araceli, you've written something.
Yes, but it's difficult that you remember that. For me, it's an important date, but for Spain, 1971, it was when after we have a dictatorship in the 60s. In 1970, well, Franco died in 1975, I think, and this period of time, they were like kind of deciding with which kind of government we will have. But in 1979, we voted for our constitution. So and then the democracy began. So it's a very important day.
So
Spain.
democracy in Spain, and that was
Yeah.
probably a very important time in history, moment in history for your country and for your generation as well.
Yes,
right?
yes. I think everybody remembers. And for example, I think back then and when I was little, but people were very enthusiastic about democracy, and now people are really disappointed.
Yeah.
But we have lived all these moments, and
Mhm.
and everybody remembers because we have had a democracy for a short period of time.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go over pronunciation of that word. For this one, it's democracy. So this one is actually the stress. So we say democracy.
Democracy.
Democracy, but Democrat. So if you say Democrat, then you don't stress the middle, but if for that one you stress the middle. It's democracy. So, Cornell, how about in Hungary? Can you think of a moment in time in Hungary at least during your generation that like democracy in Spain, the Challenger explosion?
Yeah. In Hungary, it was in 90, 90, uh, ni- 1990, because Russian army left the Hungary.
Okay.
Yeah.
What happened? Was that democracy in Hungary or?
Yeah, democracy, and the date is very similar to Berlin Wall going down.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
Hungarian prime minister opened the border. The German citizens,
Hmm.
East German citizens, to go to West. It was
Hmm.
1989.
Yeah. I remember I traveled to Germany for the first time in 1990. And I remember at that time you could tell the difference between the Eastern and Western Germans by the way they were dressing and also by the cars they were driving. It was very interesting. So, um, uh, okay, how about in Japan? Can you think of a moment in history during your lifetime that um,
Uh, that's the big incident in Japan. Yeah, definitely the earthquake happened maybe 5 years ago or something. Oh, yeah, that's extraordinary big. Maybe it is said once in a 1,000 year scale. So my area didn't quake at all.
mhm.
So I didn't feel it actually. But after I came back to the home and I
Oh, that
watched
was the Kobe
newscasts,
one. Is that the Kobe earthquake?
no, kind of North Japan earthquake.
Okay,
Kobe is one, it was pretty big, but
it
that
was it was
North
the.
Japan earthquake and with tsunami and nuclear power plant accident,
Mhm.
extraordinarily big, once in 1,000 year. But
Oh, okay,
yeah,
yeah.
but this area is on a different plate, so
Mhm.
didn't quake at all.
Yeah.
No main quake and aftershocks
Uh,
here.
yeah.
So, but yeah, that's a totally yeah kind of devastating.
We had an earthquake in Idaho last weekend, and it was so insignificant that, nothing, people felt it, but nothing happened. So, but
Mm.
yeah, I remember the earthquake in it was Osaka,
Yes,
um,
Kobe. Yes, Kobe.
Kobe,
Also,
Osaka. That was in
yeah,
1994 or 1995,
yes, right.
and that was amazing. So, hello, Fawn. How are you?
Hello, I'm fine, thanks.
Excellent. Fawn, where are you from?
I'm from Taiwan.
Excellent. And Fawn, can you tell us? Can you think of a moment in history in Taiwan during your lifetime that just made a difference to your entire generation that everybody
Uh,
remembers?
you mean a special disaster or some incident?
Yeah, some incident or something that happened. Like Cornell said, the democracy in Hungary, democracy in Spain, and also
Uh,
I said the Challenger explosion in my country, earthquake in Japan. We think maybe 2009.
I think there was a demonstration just last year, and it's about uh, a trade we are dealing with China.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but the because a lot of agreement are conducted by the government, but
Mhm.
they don't a lot of information are too secret for the generation to the young generation. So finally, a lot of not teenager, not a lot of young men are go
Mhm.
on a strike,
Mhm.
and uh, and just we occupy our latest yen, and
Mm.
it's yeah, it's a very big issue for in our
Mhm.
country just last year.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
yeah,
I didn't hear a word about it.
yeah,
Interesting.
yeah,
Yeah.
and our main uh our main result is we want our government to that everyone knows that what actually the agreement with China.
Mm-hmm.
They want to know every detail of the agreement, every sentence,
Mm-hmm.
because it will affect a lot in our country, especially the job, the job and some work opportunity. So but before the demonstration, a lot of things are just did by the government, and they don't want us to, because you actually there was embarrassing situation between we and China and us. Yeah.
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 I've heard about the relations between China and Taiwan, and
Yeah.
it can be really tense.
Yeah. Tense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Max, how about Russia? Can you think of anything yet, or that has happened?
Maybe it would be in the future big issues for my generation. Some kind of what happens now in Ukraine. I don't know.
Okay, so like the Ukraine issue might be something that you guys will your generation will think of. Okay. Or not really your generation, but the kids of today, the ones that are in school right now. Okay, all right.
Yeah, of course, I learn and know a lot about how uh, USSR take apart.
Yeah, you remember that, don't
Yeah,
you? The
yeah,
breakup
but
of the USSR.
I was a kid and I don't know
Yeah. Yeah,
what
for
to
some,
say.
yeah, exactly. Okay, let's go on. What we're going to do is we're going to quickly read some different memories that people have, and then we're going to talk about some memories that you might have a little bit more. So let's match the two halves of these collocations first. We have pill, can't believe, be on, make, listen, land, go. And then we have photocopies, in silence, potatoes, wrong, my ears, a break, and on the moon. Okay, could you try to make a match?
Okay. Peel, peel potatoes.
Yes, pill potatoes, perfect. Being a potato girl from Idaho, we are Idaho potatoes. I'm very happy you said that. So, Araceli?
Can't believe my ears.
Can't believe my ears. Okay. We also say can't believe my eyes as well. Can't believe my ears. Can't believe my eyes. Okay. And Fawn, can you try one?
Be wrong. Beyond wrong.
Beyond. No, not beyond wrong.
Or beyond break.
Beyond a break, yes. So to be on a break, maybe at work. Okay. And Cornell, can you choose one?
Make photocopies.
Make photocopies, yes. Okay, and Max.
Listen in silence.
Okay, and then okay, he is gone. Araceli, could you do another one?
Land on the moon.
Yes, land on the moon. Okay, and then the last one then of course is go wrong. Go wrong. So what we will do is we have 1, 2, 3. We have 3 stories. We have 5 of you. So so we'll have everybody read part of a story. So since okay, so gone. Fawn, can you read the first 2 sentences of Margaret's story?
Okay. I was living at my grandmother's home at the time. I remember it very clearly, as it were yesterday. I was in the kitchen preparing dinner, peeling some potatoes.
Okay.
Then we,
Okay, thank you. And so as if it were yesterday. So this if is very important. I remember it very clearly as if it were yesterday. So, all right. Thank you. Cornell, could you read the next 2 sentences?
What was the first?
Starting with there. Starting with there, right here.
Yeah, okay. There was a small radio on the kitchen table. In those days, hardly anyone had a television. Anyway, they interrupted the regular program to announce that Kennedy had been assassinated. I couldn't believe my ears.
Yeah, and now with a TV, it would be I couldn't believe my eyes. So, are there any words or phrases that you guys do not know in here? So everybody's fine?
Assassinate, to kill.
Yeah. Assassinated is when they killed the way he was killed. So, in public and so forth. Okay, so Bill's story. Max, could you read the first 2 sentences? Probably over to the word watch for Bill's story.
I wish I could remember men landing on the moon. It was 1969, and my family didn't have a television. My father had refused to buy one. They knew about the Apollo mission, so my sister and I went to a friend's house to watch
Perfect, thank you.
that.
And okay, could you read the next paragraph?
Okay, Bill's story, right?
Yeah, Bill's story, but starting with when. Starting.
When we got there, we sat down in front of the telly. However, while we were watching TV, both the sound and the picture suddenly stopped. The TV had gone wrong.
Oh, wow. So he didn't get to see the Apollo mission. Okay. All right, Jason's story. Araceli, can you read that?
I can clearly remember hearing the news of Diana. I was teaching in Tokyo and was on a break between lessons. There were about 5 of us in the teacher's room, and we were preparing our classes, making photocopies.
Okay. And Fawn, can you read the next section?
Yes.
Suddenly.
Suddenly, a teacher rushed into a room to tell us that Diana had there. We put the radio on immediately and listened immediately and listened in silence as the newsreader announced that tragic news that Diana had been killed in a car crash.
Okay, excellent. Thank you. All right. Okay. Are there any words or phrases in these stories?
Sorry, Holly. I think it is not true because Diana hadn't been killed.
Excuse me?
Diana hadn't been killed in a car crash. It was an accident in a tunnel in Paris.
Yeah, it's one way that we say it though. She wasn't. she wasn't assassinated or anything, but she did die in the car crash,
Yeah.
and that it will be said that way. That Diana had been killed in a car crash. I think that you've zeroed in on something though, that a lot of times I think in this respect that the word died is more appropriate, but I think the writer of this wanted to use more than one word.
Yeah. Okay.
So tell us that Diana had died, and then that's just more of a writing style of not using the same word in every single sentence. So
Okay.
yeah, but you are right. I think died might have been better in this. But killed is, I mean, people get killed in a car crash a lot, is what we will say. So it's not wrong. All right. Anybody else have any questions?
Yes, what's the meaning of telly?
Okay, that is a British English, and it's slang for television or
Oh,
TV. And but it is slang. It's only used in British English, though. Most Americans would be as clueless as you. They would figure it out based on context, and they might ask, "Are you talking about a television?" So.
Is it,
yes, I understood by context, but I hadn't heard
You
that
still
word
to check.
before.
Yeah.
is it similar to handy?
Yeah, it's the same idea. But handy though is a cell phone.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, but it's the same idea where you put an e at the end. It's just, I guess, the British way. I guess I'm not really sure. So, all right. Any other questions? All right. So let's write full sentences using the clues below. So for the Kennedy's assassinations, let's see if we can put this together in a sentence. She's talking about the past. Let's say, Cornell, can you try this one?
When I had lived at my grandmother's, or I don't know
Okay.
the full sentence, or I lived at my grandmother's.
Okay. I lived at my grandmother's. Okay. Or you can say I was living at my grandmother's.
I had been living at my grandmother's, or I don't know.
Yeah.
Or I was living at my grandmother's.
Yeah. I was living at my grandmother's is probably the better one of all three of them. So we'll put that. I was living at my grandmother's. Okay. And Max, could you see if you can do number 2?
I was peeling potatoes when I hear about Kennedy assassinated.
Okay, so when I heard about Kennedy.
When I heard
about Kennedy, perfect.
About Kennedy.
Okay, and okay, could you do the next one?
Yes. They announced Kennedy was assassinated.
And that's okay, but a better one was they announced that Kennedy had been assassinated. Had been assassinated. Okay. Next one, moon landing. Artheli, can you do that one? Number 1.
My family didn't have a television.
Yes. Okay. Number 2, Fawn.
We don't have TV because my father. We didn't have a television because my father had refused to buy one.
Perfect. had refused to buy one. Okay, and number 3, Cornell.
When we got the house, we sat down in front of the television.
Sat down in front. Oops. Front of the. I'm going to put the telly just to make it. Number 4, Max. Can you do that one?
While we were watching TV, the sound and pictures suddenly stopped.
Suddenly stopped. Okay.
The TV goes wrong.
Okay, how about the TV had gone wrong?
Had go wrong.
Yeah. Okay, we're going to skip the next one to go to your memories. So can you think of any events in recent history? Okay, so we've already actually done that. But as far as some of these memories up here, the Kennedy assassination, I think none of us were alive for that one, or the first moon landing. But for these last 3, most of us were alive, or at least the last 2. So, okay, do you remember what you were doing when you heard about the collapse of the New York World Trade Center?
Yeah, right after I came back from the swimming pool, I turned on the TV and building was burning, so I thought, oh, it was a earthquake or something. But it's New York.
Yeah, it wasn't an
And
earthquake. It was a plane.
yeah, but it's a little bit similar image I saw on
Oh yeah, it was
TV
similar.
after the Kobe's earthquake because
Uh-huh.
buildings were burning.
Mm-hmm.
So
Oh.
I thought at the beginning I thought it was an earthquake or something, but
Mm-hmm.
and after that I noticed, the announcer said it's could probably the airplane crash, could be the terrorist attack or something like that. Yeah, and I joined after that I joined the MSM chat room to text chat with people in the world all over the world.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Araceli, what were you doing when the New York's when you heard about the New York World Trade Center collapse?
Yeah, I remember it clearly because I know the time difference between New York and Madrid, because I remember it was noon, it was lunchtime for us, and it was 8 a.m. in New York, and so I was working and with my co-workers I went to have lunch in a restaurant. So the TV was on, but the sound was we couldn't hear the sound. So we watched it like that, and we saw, is that a new movie or what's that? Because we saw the buildings burning, and we said, what's that? This looks like New York. That must be a movie. We couldn't believe that. So we went back to the office, and then we searched the internet, and we were amazed about what was happening. And I remember suddenly we were trying to work and we couldn't focus. And one of my colleagues said, "Wow, one of the tower has collapsed," and everybody in the office, we had like well, I was working in a .com company. We developed web pages, and it was a very technological company. And we had a huge TV because we were trying of programming code for the TVs in that time. And it was like everybody left their computer and went to the TV. And stopped working for all the evening, and we were just staring at the TV, and we couldn't believe our eyes.
I had a similar experience than you. I was actually teaching at the language school at the time, and in Finland it was about 3 or 4 in the afternoon. So with the time difference, that sounds about right. And I got out of class it happened while I was teaching, and I got out of class, and I immediately got a telephone call from a friend who works in television, to tell me that this had happened. And so I went to the teacher's room, and we tried to get on the internet, and the internet was just by that time so completely just it had exploded that we could not find anything. So I went home, and if I would not have heard about it from a friend, I would have turned on the TV and thought that they were showing a movie, because who would do that? So that was my thought as well. So, all right, Fawn, can you choose one of these moments in history and tell us where you were?
I think the collapse of New York World Trade Center. Is it 111?
911, yeah.
911.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's the only thing I can remember.
Mm-hmm.
And I was in a kind of crime school. During a crime school, it's kind of and
teenager.
Teenager for a class after school.
Mm-hmm.
And because I was a junior high school student at that time, and and I was doing some I think that class also is an English class. Yeah, and when after I finished the class, and I knew the news, and it was really terrible at that time. Yeah, it makes a lot of people frightened.
Yeah, I bet. I remember going into my class the next day. I was teaching that next morning at a company that designed military airplanes. And and I walked into the classroom, and they were all very, very silent and very, very solemn, because they had no idea if I had friends in New York and things like that. But I was as far away from Idaho is a 3-hour time difference, and London's a 3-hour time difference. So I was as close. My family was far away from New York as I was. So, but yeah, a lot of it scared a lot of people. So. Cornell and Max, I don't think we have time to hear your stories as to what you were doing. I'm sorry. So.
Don't worry.
Anyway, I hope you guys learned some new words and phrases, and I hope to see you in another class. If you have time, stay on. I'm here for another 2 hours. If not, see you another day. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.